There was a time when I thought I could take down a $20 million deal on my own. I was convinced that I'd found a top secret opportunity, something too good to share. I didn't tell anyone because I was afraid that someone would steal it. Turns out it wasn't even a good deal. And looking back, I had no business trying to do that deal alone. But here's the thing, I thought I had to. I believed I needed to control everything, take every dollar, and do it all myself. That mindset almost cost me big time. What saved me was walking away and realizing I wasn't the problem, my thinking was. Today, I want to help you avoid the same trap. This episode is all about building the mindset of a real estate investor, the kind who attracts opportunities, partnerships, and capital effortlessly. Because the truth is, wealth isn't about how much you know right now, it's about how open you are to growth. By the end of this episode, I'm going to give you the exact steps to break through limiting beliefs that are holding you back, develop the confidence to work with others, and build a mindset that naturally attracts money and deals. And to make sure it sticks, I'm going to give you a 30-day mindset challenge that will help you start thinking like a wealth creator immediately. If you're ready to ditch that scarcity mindset and start playing this game like a true multifamily real estate entrepreneur, investor, pro, then stick with me. I started my journey in 2012 with a small multifamily development project. I bought a piece of land in Nicaragua and I developed it into a small house that was going to be a vacation house. I eventually sold it, never used it, never even saw it completed, whatever. Then I jumped into buying duplexes in here where I live in Long Beach, New York, extremely expensive real estate, 800,000 or so for the duplex in 2017, 18, whenever I was looking. I was going to do it with my brother and with a friend, only because I didn't have enough capital. And then I came across the bigger pocket stuff and started listening to that in 18 and 2019, got hooked on Joe Fairless's syndication, realizing that you can like raise money from people. And I was like, oh my God, this is my way in. This is my way to raise $1 bazillion, buy a giant apartment complex, own it, operate it all by myself, and be super duper rich. But that's not the case. That's not how syndications work. You are not super duper rich if you buy a deal, a building using other people's money. You only get paid if they get paid, essentially, for the most part. And you got to go above and beyond your projections to make yourself any money. I didn't know any of this, but I was greedy. I was ready to jump in there and do a crazy deal. So I found a deal, or what I thought was a deal, here in Long Beach, New York. I believe it was 6 triplexes right on the beach. They were broken down, and I was looking at them. I was like, these are crappy. What if I bought them and redeveloped them? It's totally forward thinking for me way back then in 2019 when I really didn't have much experience, knowledge, education, or anything. But I was like, I can do this. So I went down a super duper rabbit hole. I reached out to the city. I spoke with the building commissioner about what could be put there. He said about 20 units, so 20 apartments. I said, okay, awesome. I met with a builder. How much would it cost me? It was like 250, 350. I forget, but I believe between 250 and 350 a square foot. He did a similar building here in Long Beach. And I was like, all right, awesome. I met with the guy. He was probably, now looking back, he probably thought I was a psycho. I met with an architect, one of the top architects here on Long Island, and he gave me the time of day to go to his office and meet with him and discuss. And it was so weird now that I'm thinking back, thinking about it. It was pretty uncomfortable. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had the balls to go do this stuff. I called every owner of each triplex, and I got one guy who was trying to sell. Okay, he was ready to go. And I convinced some of the others to sell. I was like, holy crap, maybe I'm onto something. The contractor told me that this was going to be a $20 million project. I said, all right, cool. I then spoke with a mentor who's like, well, if you're going to get anybody involved, they got to see at least a 20% return. I was like, all right. So let me do some quick math here. $20 million. Let's see. 20 times 1.2, all said and done, it's got to be sold, let's say, for 24 million if I'm spending 20 million, which this does not take into account or factor in anything about all the work that's going to get involved to raising that capital and who's going to put that in. So I thought that I stumbled upon this gem. this crazy diamond in the rough that nobody had seen or even thought of before. And boy, was I wrong, because after speaking with multiple people, one real estate investor in particular was like, yeah, oh yeah, I know about that. And he wasn't even from my town. He's like, yeah, we looked at it. It's not worth what they're asking. I was like, oh, because I believe I could have bought it all for 7 million. That's what the price would have been, around 7 million, I think. It eventually did sell years later for, I believe, 4 or 5 million, which is probably what it would be worth, but still way too much work for anything that I could have done. So they were going to sell it for, let's say, bought it for 7 million, built it for another 15 million or whatever it was. And then I met with a realtor who said, this is what you're going to get for rents. So it wouldn't make sense to build to rent, essentially. It would make sense to sell as condos, and you got to sell each one for 1 million. And we could have built like 27. I would have profited a little bit. Now, there's so much risk involved with that. But I was still trying to harbor this deal and hold it for myself. But I was like, you know what? I could still do this. I was still stuck in this mindset, like, yeah, I'm going to do this alone. And I joined the Jake and Gino community, which is a multifamily investment mentorship program in late 2019. I signed up on like a Wednesday, and by that Friday night or Saturday, I was already down in Atlanta on one of their conferences. The first person I spoke to, I shared this deal as if I was about to do this. He had done a couple deals himself, and he looked at me. He was like, what the hell are you thinking? Made me feel like I was a psychopath for what I was doing, and did not let me do that deal. Nobody let me do the deal. And thank God they didn't let me do this deal, because it would have been a nightmare. I would have not made it happen. Absolutely not. There's no way I'm going to raise 20 something million dollars, be the sole owner of this thing, and just walk away. I don't know what I was thinking, but my mindset was simple. I thought that I could be a lone wolf and be this greedy little boy who's going to keep everything. Now, that mindset held me back from actually doing the deal, because it could have kind of been a good deal had I thought about bringing on the right people, sharing the wealth, rather than being this lone wolf who's going to save the world and be a bazillionaire. Not reality. So the lesson here is that, guys, real estate is really a team sport. And I did not know this, or did not, I knew it, but I was afraid to do it. I was afraid to admit it. I was afraid that sharing the wealth would slow me down. You guys all know that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Okay. That's what your mindset really needs to be. This is a long game. The real estate game is not a get rich quick. You can do fix and flips. You can sometimes win big, but that is not the norm. I encourage you to seek out mentors, seek out partners, seek out mastermind programs, share deals, share what you're going through, what you're working on, so that you can get feedback. Share it so that people can tell you, hell no, don't do that. Or, oh, that's a good deal, and maybe I'll partner with you on it. By sharing and talking about your deals with other people in the community, in the multifamily investing community, you would be amazed at what help. I talk to people all the time about my deals. There's no secrets here. I don't try to harbor and hide these top secret, amazing unicorn deals, because they don't really exist. If you're actually in the space, you know very well that everybody that you are competing against are killers. Multifamily investors don't just sit around and have a deal fly and land on their plate. That's not how it works. They're actively hunting, seeking deals, bidding, negotiating, talking with new people, following up on for years with sellers to try to get and win deals, etc. So this game is a team sport. I need you to think that way. And if you have not gone there yet, like me, it is time to switch your mindset. You need to think and know and feel and believe and want to work with a team. This is a team sport. My next limiting belief was overcoming the scarcity mindset. That greed thing that I was trying to harbor, that deal all by myself, that's the scarcity mindset. There's not enough to go around. That's scarcity. People don't want to invest in me. I'm not good enough. That's scarcity. There's plenty of money that wants to invest with me, that needs to invest with me. Why? Because I've finally built up the education. I've finally built up the experience, the knowledge, and the track record to go take down a deal that is going to make somebody some good money. I am extremely rich in love, in education, in focus and dedication, commitment, In diligence, I am extremely rich. In discipline, I am extremely rich. In progress, in setting goals and believing in myself, I'm extremely rich. In showing up every single day and continuing on this journey. And I find deals. So people need me. People who have capital don't have time to look for deals or find deals, are in the need of a deal. I have that deal. So my scarcity mindset needs to get kicked to the curb. So the first capital raise that I did was for that 194 unit building in 2020. I raised $250,000 gruelingly from my investor database in my network. It ended up being a few friends and family members that I knew, and I convinced them, and that's what I'm going to say, with my scarcity mindset, that I was begging them to just give me money, essentially. My thought process, my mindset at the time was, you give me money so that I can accomplish my goal of being a multifamily real estate investor. But thinking back, looking back and feeling where that thought process came from, scarcity. In reality, what I should have been doing was presenting the deal to everybody in the world, because I knew that I didn't know based on experience, but I knew that the partners that I was working with had found a good deal. Managing this 194 unit building from 0 to 194 units in a completely brand new market that I had not even looked at, Columbus, Ohio, and through COVID, right? I mean, like, so many factors. So my scarcity mindset jumped in saying, oh no, nobody's going to want to invest with me. Nobody's going to want to invest because of me. But it wasn't because of me. People needed to invest because they need to place capital. If you're not investing and placing your capital and putting your capital to work for you, you're losing money just to inflation. Okay. So I needed to think differently. I needed to share opportunities with people. Hey, I got this awesome deal. Do you want in? No? Awesome. Do you know somebody that does? Awesome. Okay. This is how you have to think. And if people don't know, who cares? Get a million no's. They're missing an opportunity. You are not there as a salesperson. You are not trying to teach them that multifamily real estate is a good investment. They have to feel that and know that on their own. And if they don't, you're not going to switch their minds and then have them give you $50,000. If you do, honestly, it's going to be a nightmare, because they're going to be all over you, freaking out, wanting their money out a few months later, not understanding that it's illiquid, and freaking out at everything that happens. Oh my goodness, there was a police called to the property because there was drug activity. What? Oh, give me my money back. You don't want those people. You want people that are knowledgeable on investing in multifamily real estate, and specifically in syndications. You'll find them, guys. Overcome that scarcity mindset. Let's talk a little bit about education and how education is the antidote to fear. So I knew I couldn't do that $20 million deal on my own. Rather, I was going to do it on my own. I was convinced that I was going to do it on my own. But I knew that I didn't have the access to capital for people that would invest with me on my own, and the full knowledge of how it would work. And I wanted some education. I had just taken out a loan for my house at that time. I had $10,000 in the bank, and it just happened to be the price at that time, right before it switched to $20,000, was $10,000 for that multifamily mastermind group, the educational program, Jake and Gino. So I used that $10,000, and that was the best $10,000 I'd spent, because spending on your own education is not only important, it's necessary. Again, it's a limiting belief that I had, that by using this money, I'm wasting it. But that limiting belief held me back from buying into a multifamily group for a while. I had interviewed with a $20,000 team. I had interviewed with a $50,000 team, and either one of them would have been worth it. But I ended up finding a deal at $10,000. And this is where my scarcity mindset won me a little bit of money back. But either way, no matter which group I went with, the value would have been absolutely there. I needed to pay for education, mentorship, network. I needed to pay to get involved and to fast track my progress. And a lot of times, the fear and the scarcity mindset just came from lack of education. So had I thought earlier that paying for this mastermind would have been valuable and helped me break through that fear of doing a deal alone, or doing any deal or understanding what makes a good deal, I would have done it earlier. I will do it again. I would do it till the day I die. I will always reinvest in myself because education and reinvesting in yourself is crucial for success. I cannot stress it enough. It will save you thousands or millions, perhaps more than you'll be spending on that education. I guarantee it. It saved me. Next up, we got to talk about the right team because you can just partner with people. Yeah, like everybody who's in that group, that mastermind group, we're all there for the same reason. And you can just partner with people, but you got to be careful. You got to partner with the right people. And that is crucial, extremely important. And you're going to make mistakes. And who cares? It is what it is. You're going to make mistakes. People change. People have the desire to jump into this game really quickly, and they jump into a partnership as well, just as quickly. But remember, a partnership can last 3, 5, 7, 10 years or more. So you really got to pick your partners well. My growth accelerated only because I had finally decided that I was going to jump in with a team, an established team. I got into my first deal, the 194 unit, in 12 months after joining the Jake and Gina community. I was looking for 12 months in Tampa and I was trying to put a deal together myself. There was no way I was going to do it. And thank God I just said, hey, I'm going to jump in with this team as a co sponsor. And that was probably the best decision I had made up until that point as well. I learned so much about partnerships. I learned so much about not trying to be the leader there because I was not ready to be the leader. Was for my benefit and everybody else's benefit that I was not in control of that deal. I sat like a fly on the wall and I worked as well for the team, but I learned so much and that experience was invaluable. I really did like working with that team. So I tried to put together a similar team down in Florida. And 3 years later, I closed my own deal down in Florida. Now looking back, I kind of just haphazardly put the team together out of necessity and need. Things would change and will change and have changed for me as far as partnerships are concerned. And now I have like a core group of people, but it took those swings, it took those misses, it took those strikeouts for me to finally land this new core team. Confidence through competence. Small wins build momentum, guys. I'm not afraid to do smaller deals. At first, that 194 unit was like, yeah, this is what I need to be doing. But I realized that the same returns can be had on smaller deals. So my next deal was a 44 unit. My next deal after that was a 10 unit. After that was a 16 unit. Now I'm looking at 5 units. I bid on a deal yesterday. I called the guy. We've been talking for a year now. I said, hey, bro, I will buy your 5 unit mobile home park for X amount. He's like, no, I got a higher offer. All right, it is what it is. But I'm looking at 5 unit deals now. I'm looking because I would like the opportunity to invest in anything and everything that is going to make financial sense, as well as educational and growth sense, as well as the ability to continue to build momentum, as well as making sense for me as an investor and my investor database, as well as my friends' family. I finally do feel confident in my offer prices. I feel confident in my deal analysis. I feel confident in my business plans, but that took time. It didn't happen overnight, guys. I had to make mistakes. And I made a lot of mistakes over the course of the years. And I would have made exponential more mistakes had I not joined a team, that multifamily mentorship program, the Jake and Gino community, and the MIH, Make It Happen Mastermind. Had I not joined them, I would have made so many more mistakes. I did lose 60,000. I've shared that story before, and I'll share it another day. But I would have lost a lot more and probably still not be in the game today had I not initially joined the mastermind. So very important, guys. I want you to DM me right now. Bust out your phones. Actually, if you're listening to this right now, I probably posted about it on Instagram, Facebook. I want you to DM me right on my post and tell me what your biggest limiting belief is. I want you to share with me what you feel is your biggest limiting belief. And now I'm going to share with you some ways to get over it. Here's our action plan: 30 days of breaking and punching limiting beliefs in the face. Daily actions for the next 30 days, 5 to 10 minutes a day, guys. Write down one limiting belief. I don't have enough money to invest. Reframe it immediately. I may not have the money now, but I can find partners or investors who do. Repeat this every morning. Number 2, visualize success. This should take about 2 minutes. Close your eyes and visualize one big goal, closing a deal, raising capital, or building a portfolio, and actually see yourself, put yourself there, feel it. What does it feel like? Try to feel the emotion of gratitude when you're doing this. Feel grateful for that you have what you have achieved. Feel confident, feel good, make it feel warm and comfortable. Picture it as if it is already done. Feel the confidence, feel the pride, feel the gratitude. 3, expand your knowledge about 5 minutes. Commit to reading, listening, or watching one piece of content on real estate investing every single day. Book, podcast, YouTube, networking, conversations with friends, whatever it is. Even 5 to 10 minutes adds up over 30 days. But guys, I do more. Don't be weak here. Do more. You can do more than that. Number 4, connect and network, 3 to 5 minutes. Reach out to one person in the industry, broker, investor, mentor, potential partner, every single day. One person a day. Texting, if you're afraid to jump on a call. Phone calls, guys, should be 15 minutes. I hate, when I first started, I was doing investor calls for 30 minutes to an hour. What the heck? We don't have time for that. Nobody wants to sit there for an hour. People are busy. 5, 10, 15 minutes, just get to know each other. If you guys click, do it again a week later. 5, 10 minutes. If you guys click, then do it again. If then, go to lunch. Take it easy. You don't have to do an hour. Nobody wants to spend an hour in front of you on a Zoom call. Don't do that. Weekly actions. Number 1, underwrite one deal a week, even if it's fake. It's okay. Any market, download the OM, download the rent roll and the T12, and just underwrite the deal. It could be a random multifamily listing. It could be a random market or your target market, okay? Focus on learning. Don't be perfect. Weekly action number 2, analyze your limiting beliefs for 30 minutes. At the end of each week, write down the limiting beliefs that came up repeatedly. Those are your targets. Attack those, rewrite those limiting beliefs, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like, oh, I believe that I will not raise $1 million because I'm not worth it. And then you reframe it to be like, I am so worth $1 million. It doesn't work like that. We don't work as humans that way. You have to repeat it over and over, sometimes 10 times, sometimes 10,000 times, and it's okay. Keep repeating it. I'm not big on affirmations because I don't know if that helps us. I feel like affirmations validate that we don't have something. Like, I am loved. I am beautiful. You're actually really telling yourself that you're not loved. That you're telling yourself the opposite. It's something you need to feel. You need to feel this. But you can certainly identify limiting beliefs and start changing your feelings over them. For example, if I truly feel, if I'm afraid and fearful of asking somebody for money because I feel like I'm not worthy, then I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to step up my educational piece. I'm going to step up my experience piece. And over time, I'm going to continually tell myself, yeah, of course I'm worthy. Look at all that I've done, number 1. And number 2, I'm going to change my actual feelings to feel that I'm worthy. I'm so worthy. I feel it. I can feel my heart feels full. It feels bold and growing and exploding with love and worthiness. Okay. That's just one of my little tricks. And I meditate a lot. I focus a lot on meditation and Dr. Joe Dispenza's teachings. All right. Final week, days 25 through 30. Share a deal or idea publicly. Post a deal analysis. Not the full thing, obviously. You're not really supposed to do that, especially, or at least hide the details of it. Post a thought or a question in Facebook group and LinkedIn and start talking about this stuff. Put yourself out there. You are a multifamily investor. The goal is to get over the fear of being wrong and not experienced enough. You can do this. You can do this. By the end of the 30 days, guys, you're going to have stronger confidence in your ability to attract deals and investors. You are going to break the habit of isolation by networking regularly. You're not going to be doing this alone, and that's good. You don't want to. You're going to develop the belief that good deals attract money and partnerships. They come to you. They find each other. They need each other. People need to place money. It's a reality. People are sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars or more, and they need to place money. Feel the momentum, guys, through small daily and weekly wins. Okay, again, tag me in a limiting belief, DM me or post, I have a limiting belief blank that Nico has helped me expose, and I am going to get over it. So here's a couple books that I recommend as well. Okay, if you're not familiar with Grant Cardone, I love it. I love listening to his stuff. I listen to his books. I don't read them anymore. I listen to all my books. I recommend the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone or anything that he has written. It is crucial. It's number one, it's going to pump you up. But not everybody loves Grant Cardone, and I totally get it. So I'm going to give you other books. But Grant Cardone, 10X Rule, pump you up, get pumped up. Grant Cardone, the 10X Rule, get pumped up, pumped up. I just made a song about it. So cool. He's pumping me up right now. Next, I love the book Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. If you have not read that book, it will blow your mind what he was able to do and accomplish. Complete superhuman. Okay. This will change your limiting beliefs and help you get over things like he has and had to. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Dr. Joe Dispenza, book number 3. This book is incredible. Dr. Joe Dispenza gives you real methods. First of all, he gives you case studies and stories of how people have overcome some insane things, nearly unbelievable. He talks about neuroscience and quantum physics and explain how your thoughts and emotions shape our reality. Guys, he helped me immensely. So that book and all of his books, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza, will change your life. So I'm only giving you 3 books today. Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins, Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Grant Cardone, the 10X Rule. Get out there. Your January is the coolest January that you have ever seen. Crush it. Love it. Adios. All right, and that's a wrap, Small Axe community. So I wanted to take a minute to say thank you so much for listening to the show. And if you liked it or got any value from it, it would really mean the world to me if you would share it with someone else and write a review. Remember, guys, keep sharpening those axes. Let's get out there. Let's crush it. Love you guys.